Winner take all. This is a great equalizer of the 8 o'clock spot tournament, which of course will go into the NBA Finals next year. But the winner gets 10,000 points. Again, this is a big, big deal for whoever can get this, can really rise up the standings rather quickly. And the loser comes home empty-handed with, of course, 0 points. The MVP discussion's heated up. It seems like, at least right now, again, we got 5 weeks left to play in the season, but it's kind of down to 2 guys. Brock Purdy of the San Francisco 49ers, who's having a fantastic season, leading the NFL in completion percentage and in passer rating. Meanwhile, you have Dak Prescott, who's having a fantastic season himself. He's the highest-graded quarterback this year by Pro Football Focus and is leading the Cowboys to, once again, another fantastic offensive statistical year. So I will start. Again, these are 2 Cowboys fans, and again, former Cowboy fan here, so being a full transparency and obviously a massive Dak fan. I don't care if y'all say Brock Purdy. I just need y'all to give a good solid case. But let's see what y'all think. So I'll start with Ryan. Who should be the MVP today if we had to vote between those 2? Is it Dak Prescott or is it Brock Purdy?
I mean, no bias. I'm going to turn the hat around real quick just to let everybody know, no bias here. But it's got to be Dak Prescott. I mean, here's the thing, right? And I talked about it on my show on Sunday. I feel like Dak has less to work with at the end of the day. I know that may sound crazy. CeeDee Lamb is his best target. Jake Ferguson, okay, he's mid. We have no running game, okay? Dak he's had to make bigger time throws than Brock Purdy has. And I know we looked at this last week's game and he was phenomenal, threw like 4 or 5 touchdowns for Purdy, and that's great. But he has a great running game behind him. And if you have that, any quarterback is going to look good in the National Football League. And you can see now that the Dallas Cowboys, I believe they ranked, I think, like 10th or 12th. I know they're like 79% as far as rushing efficiency in the National Football League. Guess who's number 2? San Francisco 49ers at 91.6% behind Christian McCaffrey. Okay. So you can't be the MVP of the league if you're not the MVP on your own damn team. And I think besides Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, then maybe you can say Brock Purdy at that point. Not to say that Brock Purdy isn't a good or primetime player, but I think we fall into this trap in society that we're ready to anoint someone as elite. And Brock Purdy isn't elite. Is Dak Prescott elite? No, but they can have 1 or 2 good seasons that may show some type of eliteness. But I think at the end of the day, when the dust settles, Dak Prescott right now, it should be at the top of my leaderboard. And then even maybe Tyreek Hill, but I know he's not on the discussion for it today because the man is about to catch 2,000 yards. That's never been done in the National Football League. But Dak Prescott.
Yeah, if you had to go beyond non-quarterbacks, Tyreek Hill, I think Tyreek Hill does have a legitimate case. Again, could be the first, is very likely, knock on wood, he stays healthy, the first 2,000-yard receiver in the history of the league. So you make some great points across the board. And that's one thing, too, about Dak is he has one guy in his offense that's in the discussion. If you want to exclude offensive line, Zach Martin's still a very productive player. But as far as skill position guys, CeeDee Lamb's the only guy in that Cowboys offense that's in the discussion to be the best player at his position in the league. George Kittle's in the discussion as the best tight end in the league. Maybe he's past Travis Kelce at this point. Christian McCaffrey's probably the best running back in the league. Deebo Samuel, I think, is the best overall offensive skill position player running the football and catching passes in the league as well. So that's you make
Williams
across the board.
Probably the best left tackle.
What's that? And a Hall of Fame left tackle, Trent Williams. I heard him again. I mentioned this on the show. I've heard him compared. He's like the Shaq of left tackles. He's literally unstoppable. You don't get pressure around the left side in San Francisco. Brock Purdy is safe as long as Trent Williams is there. Shifting now to Mike Guido. Who is the MVP today? If you had a vote, is it Dak or is it Mr. Sturdy Purdy?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Ryan Flowers. I'm going to say it's Dak Prescott, too. Listen, here's the reality of the situation is that weeks ago, and this is probably a month and a half or so ago, maybe even 2 months ago, when we were having this exact same discussion about the MVP of the league, who was the guy that you were going to pick early on. Listen, before Dak Prescott went on his tear, people were talking about, maybe this is one of those years where a quarterback doesn't have to win MVP. Right? There's not a guy that's really standing out above everybody else until Dak Prescott went on an absolute 6-week tear like he has been over the past month and a half. So that's part of it, right? People like Tyreek Hill and Myles Garrett were being thrown into the conversation as non-quarterback MVPs. Listen, and we kind of talked about this before. We kind of saw what it was like for Brock Purdy when things kind of broke down, right? During that 3-game losing streak, without Trent Williams, without Deebo Samuel, this is where I think Ryan is right on the money, is that when those guys weren't there, Brock Purdy played poorly. And it's not that he played less than what he's capable of. He played legitimately poorly. So I agree with Ryan in the sense of he's not even the most valuable guy in his own offense. He's not even the most valuable, general in his own offense as far as Kyle Shanahan and him are concerned. Listen, we've seen Dak Prescott with this exact lineup, with this exact offensive personnel throughout the entire year. He's improved as the season has gone on. He really is proving. He's shutting all the doubters up. He's the captain of this offense, and this offense wouldn't be the same right now without him. So I'm 100% in with Ryan right now as well. I think it's Dak Prescott easily over Brock.
Obviously, I agree with both of you, and it is just music to my ears as a long-time Dak supporter since the days of Mississippi
Bryson,
State.
you know me. I am a big-time Dak Prescott skeptic, and listen, me and Barry Grant Jr., who I know is still in here, we both have had plenty of doubts about Dak Prescott. He's shutting us both up right now. The way that he's playing right now, he looks like he's a top 3 quarterback in the league right now.
No, he's playing unbelievable. Am I still, last thing, and then I'll obviously get to the point total. Am I crazy now to say Dak's better than Josh Allen?
I still think you're kind of crazy about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Josh Allen's really special.
I agree. I just think that Dak's more special, but we can.
Listen, I love Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen, and Dak is playing better football than Josh right now. But I think if you were to tell me tomorrow I can start my franchise with one or the other, I'm picking Josh Allen.
Yeah, is that a Dak bobblehead, Ryan?
Yeah, no. Dak is talking to me right now. Hold on. What's that? You said you're better than Josh Allen? Yeah, he wanted.
Wow.
He said, he wants to tell you guys. He wants to tell you guys. Yeah, here we go.
It's the greatest cadence since Omaha. I don't care what anybody says. It's
fantastic. Hey, man, I'm around the house all day saying it. I'm driving my family nuts. I'm pumping gas. I'm at the gas station. I'm at the grocery store. I'm under center. I'm like, here we go all day.
Love it. Love it. Well, as we dial up the victory music, again, both of you made fantastic cases, and it's very fitting that you two are the finalists, given the fact that you gave great takes across the board. But the winner for this week's edition of the 8 o'clock spot, it is Ryan Flowers. Congratulations, Ryan, the winner of this week's edition of the 8 o'clock spot.
Oh, Dave, I like that. That's very regal.
Yes.
I like that.
We give the champions respect here, Ryan. This is what we do. Ryan, how do you feel being for your first
championship?
You know what,
man? I feel great, man. Honestly, the panel that we had tonight, man, I respect the hell out of Mike and Barry. So when I saw they were coming on, I was like, you know what, man, this is gonna be good. This is like the A team. No offense to the rest of the guys, but like these are the guys, man. And so I'm glad that,
man, this is it.
I'm glad that I was here tonight. I hope to make a return soon, but my schedule dictates me a lot of the times. But I definitely wanted to make an appearance at some point here on the 8 o'clock spot. And I'm glad I'm not going to even do a full circle or a lap because again, I have tremendous respect for all the guys here tonight. And it was a pleasure. It was an honor. And I hope to do it again soon.
Again, that's the great thing about that final round. The 10,000 points, man, you can get right back in the race in the blink of an eye if you can come through and get some W's. But great points across the board for you, Mike, and even before that, Barry, you did a great job. So your thoughts, Barry? Did I make the right decision here? I want your confirmation.
Of course, you made the right decision. As long as Mike doesn't win, I'm all right.
That's the kind of hate that makes him great. It really is.
It is.
The kind of trolling
hater of the year.
Him great.
However, go ahead.
I believe you're looking at the new overall picture. I won a totally different thing tonight, so I'm good.
Mike, just remember that I know where you live, so if you don't end up being on the show next week for some reason, I'll take your spot, sir. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I do want to end the show on this note, and I love you guys. I think this was a great show. All the shows are always great.
Yeah.
But I want to end on a serious note about Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball, you should be ashamed of yourself. No, seriously, because you have the biggest star and the biggest player in this modern generation, and it's silent. There's no press coverage. There's no pomp and circumstance. This is why baseball falls by the wayside in regards to popularity and publicity, because they do dumb shit like this. You're supposed to be bigging up your biggest player of your sports probably history. This is why baseball falls flat, and it's a disgrace. and they need to do better, but they can't do better because they're always stuck in their ways and they really don't know how to get out of the mud. So that's it for me.
Well, listen, I've talked to you. I agree with you, and we talk often about not to get too far into left field. We talk about baseball. It's funny to go into left field, but not to go too far in the weeds here. But like this a commissioner, a great commissioner, can go a long way. People get on Goodell and Adam Silver; those two are darn good commissioners for their sports. Even I've talked about Kathy Engelbert in the WNBA. The popularity of that league has gone up. Major League Baseball. Not great. So, but yeah, great points across the board. Great show, everybody. And that is it for this week's edition of the 8 o'clock spot. Check us out next week at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, live on the GRYD Network's YouTube channel and Twitter account. Shout out to Ryan, our champion, as well as Mike Guido and Barry Grant Jr. And of course, bobblehead Dak, little Dak.
I want to end the show giving my man Devin a shout out. Big trust.
Oh,
big trust, baby.
Get out of here. All right, we'll see y'all next week.